guys, welcome back to Pop Therapy. As you may or may not have already heard, I started recording a recap of my time in the States already, and I made it to the end of LA, and then I ran out of steam. And I put that out to the universe, and my amazing Pop Therapy bestie, Heidi Anderson, put her hand up and said, "Hey girl, I'll interview you about BravoCon. We need to hear the stories."
Oh girl, I've got the popcorn. I am ready. Seriously, I've got the popcorn.
Oh my God.
I need to hear everything. As you
Love
were
it.
I was getting live updates from the toilets, which was so exciting.
You were.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, I'm just eating my popcorn.
Yeah.
But what I loved was how much you were in it. But then I was only getting tiny little snippets, and we only got tiny little snippets on your stories that I was like, well, you haven't even bloody called me yet.
I know.
So I was like, I'll interview you. I'll talk to you about BravoCon because I want to get all the tea. And like I said, popcorn ready.
Love it.
Let's go.
Now, you know why I didn't call you?
To do this.
Was no, the why I didn't call you from BravoCon, and I could only like occasionally blast out a text. It was the most energetically demanding and overwhelming thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I knew it was going to be big, but I did not anticipate just how much it was going to need from me to get through the 3 days. And when I say get through, it's not like an actual marathon that you're trying to survive, but it was so intense. You need to be in 25 places at once. The FOMO that is real from like there are 3 different stages plus outdoor areas plus the Bravo Bazaar where all the stars are selling their wares. Everything's running all at the same time, and you've got the schedule, and you might see like, oh, the Miami girls are on the glam stage in 5 minutes, but the Southern Charm boys are going to be on the gold stage in 20 minutes. But also I can see the girls from Summer House. I see Kathy Hilton walking past me, and there's Cynthia Bailey, and it's like, where do I even go?
Oh my God, this sounds so intense. That just gave me another question that I need to ask you. So sorry.
Right.
I will be taking questions and writing things down because I already feel fucking overwhelmed.
Okay.
So how did you make your decision on who to see?
So before I left, I actually printed out and color-coded all the stages and the schedule and where everyone was going to be, and I thought I knew where I wanted to go, right? I fully like planned for this. It's like I mapped out my route, you know, but I actually didn't know what I was walking into. Like the first day I walked in and Meredith Marks is DJing outside right in front of my eyes, meters away from me. Seth Marks is there like egging her on. Brooks and Chloe Marks came in and were like cheering on their mum, and I was just like, bang, we're here. Oh my God, they're literally there. I could touch them. And so then it was like, wow, we are surrounded by thousands and thousands of fans.
Yeah.
And hundreds of Bravolebs who could be walking amongst us at any given time or on the stages. So I sort of got there and I was like, whoa, okay, all plans are out the window. And I did have an American SIM card, which meant I had, you know, constant internet. So I was just like, didn't even bring my pieces of paper, but I was just using the website to see like what's happening on the schedule, who's where. And then based on, you know, who I thought I was really excited about. Like I thought there's no way I'm missing that panel. There's no way I'm missing this panel. But then Ryan Bailey, who everyone will know is a friend of the pod, he was hosting a lot of live TV segments from the Bravo Bazaar.
Yeah.
And so I was texting him and he was like, oh, I'm at this stage and it's so-and-so. And I'm like, oh my God, how long are they there for? And I was in this panel and I was like, no, I've got to go there. And I ran to there and it was too late and it had ended. But then I turned around and I had an interaction with, you know, 3 or 4 amazing big Bravolebs and creators that, you know, just made up for all of it. And so I sort of let the rules go for myself and let myself just kind of be taken with it and like see what I was feeling. And the Bravo Bazaar, as a hot tip, is the best place to see them all just in the wild because they're coming out you know, from behind this wall through the bazaar to their panels or to their little shop fronts. And that's where I had the best interactions with people.
Okay, I love this. So the Bravo Bazaar, that's on the list for 2027 because I'm also
100%.
taking notes for that. They're in the wild. You're seeing them on TV. Who had bodyguards? Who didn't have bodyguards?
They all had bodyguards.
No way.
They were all surrounded. So they all had minders and obviously assigned by Bravo.
Yeah.
And they had some of them like whole groups of people shielding them. Others walking.
Like who? Give us an example. Like who?
Literally every single. So, you know, Captain Sandy and her wife were walking through the crowd in the middle of a pack of people all dressed in black with earphones and security, like getting them through the crowd. So the first day was more relaxed and less security because there were less people. So hot tip, don't just get a single day ticket for the Saturday, which is the middle day, because it is insanely busy. And I thought the worst day of them all.
Because it was just too full on.
Too full on. And it was raining. So all of the outdoor setups were not running. And so everyone was inside and it was overfilled. But also the crowd was really different. So the Friday, everyone felt cool. Like we would see them there and you could go right up to Dr. Terry Dubrow, who's walking right behind Heather. I said, hi, Heather. And then there's Terry, and Terry stops and has a photo with me. Or Heather Gay is walking past with a few security people kind of around her. But I was able to get really close and be like, hi, Heather, we love you. She gave me a big wave, said hello, kept going. So the minders are really there to help get them to wherever they're going because they are scheduled to the brim. They need to be doing media behind the scenes. They're doing, you know, filming and photo stuff. Then they're out on a stage. Then they're over here. Then they're doing a meet and greet. So they are
so full on
chockers. So it's partly that, the minders. But on the second day, the crowd was unpleasant. It was like shrieking, screaming, mobbing people. And so all the security got beefed up. They were rushed through the crowds because it was just like, it was honestly like if you imagine Taylor Swift walking through a shopping mall and the teenagers would scream and mob her, it was like that. So you'd just be hearing these screams from a crowd and like just these throngs of people kind of like running from room to room and bit to bit. And it was actually made me just want to step back and be like, this is like I'm not chasing.
Who got the biggest screams?
They literally all did. Everyone from all the Southern Charm Boys. If you have your top tier housewives like Beverly Hills, or you've got like some OC, oh God, Salt Lake City, you know, any of the housewives, they got huge roars of screams. But even, you know, like poor Captain Jason, like he was leaving a below deck experience and was absolutely mobbed. And I happened to end up next to him and I was like, hi, Jason, I'm a podcaster from Australia. And there's literally, we're in a sea of people and we're being carried through the crowd by this sea of people. And his people are moving him forward. And he's trying to talk to me. And he's like, oh, where are you from? I'm like, Melbourne. He's like, DM me. I was like, okay, I will. And
did you?
Yeah, of course I did. And we've had a couple of messages since he came back. I'm trying to get him on the show. But
yes, Jason, come on the show. Side note, do you think him and Heather banged?
Hard to know. He again said publicly, well, on one of the panels, that he is not hooked up with any housewife.
But, and then she's playing like she has.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know the definition of hooked up because I think maybe there's a line he's like saying, no, I didn't have sex with anybody.
But she maybe
he, or maybe like they had a little, you know, make out and a dry hump, you know, like I'm not sure that
dry humps when they're in their 40s.
A former Mormon.
Oh my God. Okay. So you've painted the picture. We've messaged Captain Jason. You've said the bazaar, like the Bravo bazaar, is the best place to be. Captain Sandy, you reckon her had the most amount of security that
she was the least interested in connecting with the fans. She looked very uncomfortable. She was walking with her wife, like linked arm very tightly and just kind of like a smile and just moving very fast through the crowd where you could see other people were lapping it up.
Yeah.
You know, like on the first day, I'm trying to think who the most, like Heather Gay was so happy to be there. Whitney from Salt Lake was so happy to be around the crowd. Who else was there the first day? Kathy Hilton. I mean, she was quite stunned. She looks kind of like, I don't know what to do. So I had a nice interaction with her and with Nikki Hilton. They were there kind of setting up their stalls. Nikki was there, I don't know why, just piggybacking off her mum, I guess.
She goes to like Watch What Happens Live with her all the time.
Right,
I think
okay.
her safety blanket as well, though.
Yeah. And look, Nikki looked absolutely stunning, like a doll, like an absolute life-size doll. And Kathy was just kind of like a bit, you know, sort of shocked.
That's her character. I reckon she played
a little bit. I do think though, because we had a moment, I was like, "Hi, Kathy, I'm here from Australia," and she's like, "Oh, okay," and like sort of like didn't know what to do next. I was like, "Do you mind if would it be okay to have a photo together?" You know, so I'm concentrating on saying hello and trying to interact with people where everyone else was like literally running in with phones going, Kathy, you know, and just paparazziing. And so I missed a lot of opportunities for photos with people because I was busy going, hi, Kathy. Hi, I'm here from Australia, you know. And like then I realized, Jesus, do I just like what am I doing? I'm trying to like meet these people. And I guess the name of the game here is just snap a pap shot. But so, you know.
Because she does. Okay, so I'm going to do some fast fire questions at you. And then if there's a longer kind of story, we want the longer story. But
okay.
Who did you have the longest interaction with?
Probably Sheree Whitfield from Atlanta, OG from Atlanta. We were in a Bravo Palooza together, which is an add-on drinks and nibbles event. And so you kind of buy a ticket to a time slot. They only have like 2 or 3 a day. And you don't know who's going to be in there, but you just know it's going to be a bunch of Bravolebs that you get to mingle with. And so I got in there thinking like, oh my God, what's this going to be like? And it was 2 of the women from Married to Medicine, which I don't watch, unfortunately.
Wartown.
Yeah. And then Gina Kirschenheider from OC, Camille Grammer, OG.
Love
and her. Yes, and Shamia Morton from Atlanta, and Madison LaCroix and Vanita Aspen from Southern Charm, and Sheree. And so they sort of put them all at these little booths around the wall of the place. There's a bar. It's a very lush kind of setup. People are bringing around little mini burgers and stuff. But like, who wants to eat when you're about to like chat with a Bravoleb? So I was like, no, thanks. I'll just take the gin. Thank you. And then
give me the Dutch courage.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, there was no real food and drink situation. You were just like, no one was going to stop to go and line up at the food tent to go and get like a, you know what I mean? You couldn't walk away for a second. So, so then, you know, I was sort of like, you'd still have to line up to meet each of them, but there was enough time to actually go in and talk, like have some time with each of them. So Madison and Vanita were really fun. And I've been quite critical of Vanita on this podcast. I find she doesn't bring anything to the show. However, she was so full of life. She was absolutely the life of the party in that room. And I've got some amazing photos of us just like laughing and going wild, like having a really fun moment together. And I was like, wow, like this is not who we see.
Well, see, that's what BravoCon's about, right? Like some people converted, some people you'll get turned off. So her being one of the most fun, who were you disappointed by?
Who was I disappointed by? maybe Kathy. I would have hoped Kathy Hilton would have a bit more oomph.
Personality.
Yeah, it was just a bit like an old lady kind of going like, okay.
I suppose she is. And she's,
Yeah.
like I said, she is sometimes a bit like that on the show. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then, okay, so you've got Vanita, had a good time with, Kathy, not so great. Who surprised you in like a wild time of like, oh my God, they're nothing like I expected besides Vanita? Might have been
Well,
looks, might have been like,
oh, from a looks perspective, the Ozempic train is well and truly out of the station.
oh,
Skinny is absolutely back
that
in.
makes, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to, do you know what I mean? Like, each to their own on their health journey.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This is beyond a health journey. This is women that were already thin who are now like pencils.
yeah,
And, I mean, I don't know if I should name names, but all of the women from Summer House, you know, OC,
yeah.
from Beverly Hills, they were all stick thin. I was really surprised by how skinny they were. Also, really surprised by how tall and Amazonian a lot of the women are. I
You're
know
a shorty. You are
I
a shorty.
am,
And
but
then I'm always fascinated by people's height because on
like
TV,
you, it's like you.
yeah, on TV or on Zoom or whatever, you never can tell like how
Yeah.
someone's real tallness or shortness or
But you know
whatever.
what I was thinking? It's like when I met you the first time. I think the
Yeah,
first thing I said was, "Oh my God, you're so tall." I mean, you're probably only like 5'9" or something, right? But
yeah, yeah,
I'm 5'4", and so I got some room to grow. But
yeah.
but then I was thinking, is there a correlation between like taller women, I don't know, bringing something more to the screen? Like, you were selected for reality TV, and maybe it's that, you do bring more to the screen when I mean, obviously it's not just the height, but maybe that does help because, I remember meeting Aisha from Below Deck for the first
Yeah.
time and also being blown away by how tall and Amazonian she was. And Hannah and I were hanging out in LA, and I was really surprised by how tall she was too.
Yeah,
And
I think she's similar to me because I remember when I
yes,
came to my house. Yeah. Okay, so you're surprised by their height, surprised
yes,
by the Ozempic train,
yep.
which
Um,
Angie encourages, which I like. I can't stand that. Like, honestly, watch what happens live when he first meets someone and he's like, "Oh my God, you're looking so thin." I fucking
yeah. What have you done? What work have you had
so
done?
I can probably imagine that there was a lot of that at BravoCon.
Yeah.
Um, what about an interaction with someone?
So again, the lovely Ryan Bailey did me a solid
Yeah,
and organized for me to be on live TV with him and Craig Conover. Now, I'm intentionally calling him Craig. I know we say the name Craig, but what I've realized is his name is Craig, like
like
Kreg.
Greg.
It's not Craig. They all call him Craig.
Oh, they
He
don't say
calls
that on
himself,
the show.
he
Pop
calls him,
now.
I'll tell you why. It's like my name is spelled Jana,
Oh
but
yeah,
but I'm telling everyone my name is Yana. So
yeah.
don't
It's so
don't call
fucking
me
annoying.
Jana just because it's spelt like that.
Why did your parents do that to us?
I'll tell you why, because my dad's dad was Jan, which is a Polish name, which is like John, and that was Jan. So they named me after him.
Yeah.
But also very common name in Europe, but just not so great over here in Australia. However, so I've had to like make peace with, because I do a lot of podcasting with Americans. I've had to make peace with, actually, this is just a different name. It's not Craig, it's Craig. So I now call him Craig.
So
But
Craig, what happened with Craig?
So Craig, I was never a huge fan of him. In the early seasons of Southern Charm, he was such a pain. I found him so irritating. He reminded me of my brother. It was really annoying. And I feel like he's really come into his own since the relationship with Paige. Still blocked by Paige. Don't know why. Maybe I know why. But
Well, he's a bit of a dick.
yeah, he was a bit of a dick, but
Yeah.
I feel like he's done a lot of growing up. He has become a hugely successful entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised actually by how good looking he was in real life, because I never have found him good looking on TV before. He's another one who's super tall. I always thought he was just maybe a 6-footer.
I got that he was tall and because then Austin, he's really tall too, but he's got charisma. You can see that Craig has charisma. You can feel his charismatic energy.
Well, it's huge in real life, and he was absolutely lovely. So we recorded the live segment and then chatted a bit, and he said, "Oh, you did so well. You spoke so well." And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm a podcaster from Australia." He's like, "Oh my God, we should do a podcast. I haven't done a podcast in a year." And I was like, "Oh my God, I would love to." He's like, "Yeah, DM me."
So did you?
Of course I have, but I haven't heard back from him.
Oh, Craig, come
on, Craig. But it's much trickier when the show's airing to get Bravo kids on the show, because you got to jump through a lot of hoops when the show is on. It's better when they're out of season. However, I will keep trying. And he reshared our interviews and he reshared my photos. And in fact, that was something that so many of them did. These huge stars were all resharing everything I posted with them. So that was kind of like a little thrill.
Oh my God, I loved watching all your stories and all your photos. Like, we need to just have more content of that. So did you get a scoop on anything? Like, because, obviously you had interactions. So you had that moment with Craig. You got stuff from the stage when they were on panels. But I'm talking like, did you hear anything from Ryan Bailey? Like, you know how things came out afterwards that Lindsay Sandoval and his girlfriend had a fight in their lifts? Like, was there anything that you got exposed to that you haven't seen the public hear about or know about? Or
not really. It was genuinely a mostly drama-free event. I mean, there were a couple of things. So Shep's been busted, kind of bad-mouthing Paige drunkenly to some people in a foyer or at a bar, whatever it was.
I saw that. Yeah.
And then there was that interaction with Lindsay. But I actually think what Lindsay was doing was trying to tell them to fight somewhere else. Like that Sandoval and his girlfriend were in a fight, and she was like, "Don't do this here, like go fight somewhere else."
And then they probably started yelling at her because that's what
probably. Yeah.
Okay. So no scoop like that. What about from the stage? Because you obviously saw who really brought it on stage and just gave us because I just want to know what's happening. Like, what have we got to come besides watching a trailer? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the trailers were amazing, really exciting. I thought Rachel Zoe emerged as a total icon. She is going to rule Beverly Hills from a fan perspective. Yeah. So she, came on stage. It was like screaming and cheering like no end, and she was just like, you could see overwhelmed, and she's like, oh my God, I haven't been on Bravo for so long, but well,
she's an OG though. She's an OG.
Yeah.
What was her show called? It was like the fashion one.
Rachel Zoe Project, I think. Yeah. So she looked incredible. Like everything was like serious fashion. And she said for the first time she's really going there with her personal life that she in her previous shows hadn't had to do in the same way, but she found that so many of the women on the Beverly Hills cast were going through so many things like she currently is, which is the separation from her husband of 25 years or whatever it is. And, Dorit's going through that, and Kyle's going through that, and Erica's got all her legal problems, and, there's a lot of stuff going down. And it sounds like she goes, I just found myself just going there and just saying it all. So I think she's going to be an incredible addition, a much needed bit of oomph,
I think, what Boz? Is that it? No.
Boz, yep.
I really love her, but I feel like she kind of, I don't know whether she lost her light because it became too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, but I felt like she came out strong, and then,
Agree.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe, I know she's lost her house and everything like that, and she's going through, I think she's with her guy, but I feel like she might maybe bring it this season, I hope.
Hopefully.
And I love everything about her, what she stands for, her business, her career, her personality, her laughter, her sense of humor. So I hope she can bring it.
I agree. And I think, she got engaged recently, so there'll probably be a bit about that. She's got that new show with Jimmy Fallon, which is some marketing pitching kind of show.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
we need to watch this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's really, she is a star on the rise.
She's smart.
So hopefully, she
Yeah.
brings a bit more. Yeah.
What about Kyle? Did we get any scoop on her and Maurice? Like, do you reckon
No.
they're going to get divorced? Is it still a,
She's still playing that, like, I don't know why she thinks it's cute or like anyone cares. Like, she's sort of basically said that, she's open to, liking men and women. Like, no one cares. It's not a big scoop. It's not a big deal. Like,
scoop
everyone.
is tell us who you're fucking. Like,
exactly.
Like,
exactly. And it's really about Morgan, who she's been so, covert about, and then will be photographed everywhere. And, someone made a good point. Like, if George Clooney, who I met, by the way, if he can like get about his daily life without being photographed by the paps, why is Kyle Richard in some random town in Colorado and being papped with Morgan? You know what I mean? It's all a bit. She plays the media game a lot, and I think everyone's sick of it. Like, I don't think there are any fans who are excited at all by this storyline. We're just interested in who you're dating. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. No one cares.
I think, excuse me, sorry, I've got the popcorn out. I've got the fucking, I need shots. I've got the sneezes. I might shit myself.
Love it. The full experience.
Because I have the PR brain, and that's my degree and stuff. She's keeping herself relevant. It's like how the Kardashians, they're very smart business people, but it's how they keep their show relevant as well by getting stuff in the media. George Clooney doesn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to keep a show relevant. She's got to keep that kind of going and keep that relevant. Same with Heather Dubrow, because the show on itself is not going to do that, because social media, sharing stuff, that's how you're going to keep. Do you know what I mean? So playing the game in a smart way. So I know we might think like, oh, wanker, but actually for her to keep on the show, she has to have some kind of public profile, whereas he's just like, I don't need that.
Yeah, true. Yeah. And she's spent her life in media and in movies and in self-promotion, and like I don't blame her for it, but it's just boring. Like, no one cares about this storyline. Like,
just actually go fuck someone else so that we can have some excitement about that.
Exactly.
Or tell us that you're abstinent, like you really are, and you'll never, like, because she's still like, I'm not these. Okay, so what big tea did you get from the panels? Like from
Well, Next Gen NYC, which was a panel hosted on the last day by the Watch What Crappens guys, and they're so funny. I was interested to see a lot of people booing Charlie. So, and he was just too cool for everything every day. Now, Charlie is the boy with the really rich dad who he claims he's a Bitcoin trader, but he's, the one that there was a lot of drama that he didn't want to be on the show with all these Bravo kids. He kind of thought it was his show about, and then he was fighting with everybody. He was fighting with Brielle, and then he was fighting with Candy's daughter, whose name just escaped me.
These are all the kids that, got you. That's the
Did you watch Next Gen NYC?
No, I knew NYC, and I was thinking you were talking about Housewives. Okay, so no, I've not watched it.
It's pretty good. I think it's it's going to be the big show. So Brooks Marks is in it. Yeah. Riley Burris, who's Candy Burris's daughter, is in it. Brielle Bierman, who is Kim Zolciak's daughter, is in it. And then there's a bunch of unknowns, basically. Yeah. And their friendships in New York. And it's a good show, except one of the kids in it is this guy, Charlie, who's just like a trust fund baby, but too cool for everything. And, there he is at BravoCon, like just skulking around like he's too cool. But meanwhile, you're only here and known because of Bravo. So, like, What are you doing? But it did make me feel good. They had photo ops that you could sign up for pre-BravoCon. You had to. It was like a shit fight to get tickets, and they were all lined up, and you had to wait your turn for the queue for whichever person you were signed up for. And he and one of the other guys from Next Gen were waiting there, and there were like maybe 2 people in their lane, and then that was it. And so they just were standing there by themselves, nobody coming for photos, and they ended up having to just leave while everyone else had hundreds of people in queues for them.
Well, that tells you something, because even
does.
dicks like Jax Taylor get bloody fans.
Totally. And he was not there, by the way. And word on the street is he's taking care of addiction problems.
Oh, so he's back in rehab, maybe.
Maybe you said that.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so what about Melissa Gorga and Teresa? Did you see that unfold? Did you watch that?
I didn't in person. I actively avoided anything that Teresa was going to be in. I like don't even want to support her with my presence. I was not even going to be in the same room as her, or no interest whatsoever.
Like, I hope that they are reconciling and it all goes well. And even Andy said we're not bringing up the cameras for this one so that it can be peaceful.
Yeah.
So did anything happen on the stages that that you were watching that we should know about?
In relation to Teresa and Melissa?
Just anything, because I haven't had a chance to watch them all yet. So I'm
look, there were a lot of questions about to other Jersey housewives about whether they thought this was real and what did they think, and the timing is very suspicious with it all. Like, we have watched Teresa basically like annihilate her relationship with her brother for a decade.
Yeah.
And suddenly she's out of a job. Suddenly they're talking about like recasting Jersey, and rumors got out that it would only have Melissa, Margaret, and Dolores. And suddenly out of nowhere, she wants to reconcile with her brother. We have been around this loop so many times. Nobody is buying it. If they're genuinely reconciling, fantastic. I hope for the sake of their families that they are, and they do. And that's basically what the flavor was from all of the housewives who were asked about it. Each of them was like, I really genuinely hope this is real, and I don't want it to be for cameras, and nobody wants to film this. We actually just want them to make up because this is their family. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so that's Jersey. What about Potomac? Because there's a few criminals coming out of Potomac. So did you see her and Hugo? What came from the stage with her? And then I want to know what happened with Wendy. Did she mention anything? And then now, bloody, who's the other one? Mia. She's had stuff go down.
Stolen furniture. I know, honestly. So I was at the Bravos, which is it was like the awards night on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Which was incredible. And I did talk about this on my last episode with Kat from Worm with a Mustache, who is a must follow. You will love her account if you're not already. But I was really disappointed to see Karen get a standing ovation. She got it for nothing. Like, Andy brought her out onto the stage to present an award, and she came out on the stage and got a standing ovation from the crowd. Like, why are we cheering and standing for a convicted felon? Are we cheering that she didn't kill someone on her 4th drink driving charge?
Like,
is that why we're cheering?
Like, I'm all about rehabilitation, giving people second chances. So, but we haven't seen that yet, her remorse. So
no.
Had all those people seen her remorse? Do you know what I mean? So that kind
exactly. It was
if we've seen that and we've had time to see these changes in her, because actions speak louder than words, then maybe.
Yeah. I'm completely with you. It was really disappointing. And, I saw some of my most admired creators and podcasters absolutely joining the charge with the standing ovation. I was like, what are we doing? This is not it.
So did you stand up and boo, or?
No, I just sat there going, well, why are you all standing up? This is seriously weird. This is weird.
Did you jump up and start booing?
No, but I did boo and scream about something with Tamra. Tamra got up and did something. I can't remember what it was, and I booed her. And well, not booed, but she said something, and I was like, I yelled something like, "No, we don't!" Like when she was like, I don't know, I can't remember what it was. I did have an enormous double gin, but she said something about like, do we need her back or want her or something or other? And I just kind of like screamed, no, absolutely not. But I was high on an interaction. So there was so many cues to do anything, right? And that the Friday night, I just had the first day and it was like, wow. I'd had my extensions put in and I was like, oh my God, I'm like this whole new person and I'm going to this awards night. It couldn't be better. And then I get there and I'm waiting in a queue to get a drink for 40 minutes or something. Like we're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And the ding, ding, come on, everyone take your seats is happening. And I'm like, I'm not leaving. No one in my queue was leaving. We had the slowest bartender you've ever seen in your life. And we weren't leaving. And then to the right, I saw all of the Salt Lake City husbands in a queue also waiting to get drinks.
Oh, my God.
And so I got my drink and I just went over and introduced myself to Seth, who was just standing there. I'm like, hi, Seth. My name's Yana. I'm a podcaster from Australia. You know, and he's like, hey, how you going? How you enjoying it? Had a quick chat, took a photo. Then there was John Barlow next to me. It's like, hi, John. Introduced myself and said, why are you guys lining up with us getting drinks? Surely they're looking after you inside. And he said, no, we weren't even invited. We got a very last minute invitation and we were just told, you know, well, go and get yourself a drink from the bar. And I'm like, aren't you sitting at the table with all the VIP, all the Bravolebs? He goes, no, it's just all about Lisa. And not in a weird way. He was saying it in a really lovely way, like, oh, no, it's all about Lisa. It's fine. And so Justin, Whitney's husband, was there, Seth, and John Barlow, and they were just like normal people in the crowd. But it was worth my 40 minutes standing in line because I got to have this lovely chat and take some photos. And he said to me, oh, Lisa's going to be, you know, at this Wendy's stand tomorrow at this time, like come across and say hi. And
did
so
you speak
nice.
to Lisa? I couldn't.
No, I couldn't make it to that thing because I think it might have been at the same time that I was doing the live recording with Craig and Ryan. But see, these are these like life or death decisions you have to make on the spot all the time. Do I want to go to a Salt Lake panel? Do I want to go and have like a meet and greet with, you know, Kyle and Erica Jane, or do I want to go and like meet Craig from Southern Charm? You know, so you constantly,
that's
where
intense.
do I go? What do I do?
Any regrets?
One regret, which was I was assigned a photo op. So it was an absolute shit show. They organized it really badly. So I was setting my alarm at 3:50 in the morning to try to get these photo op tickets. And so you go in and it says it opens at like 4 a.m. my time. And then you can quickly get in, see who's on the list on that day and time and select. But the whole system failed and almost no one knew what they were doing. Some people were on there like me from a minute before to 10 minutes after, and it was like not accessible. And then we got emails saying, congrats, you're booked in on Friday. And I'm like, I don't even have a time or know who the people are. Like, what is this? So on the first day, I got a second email saying it's at 12:45, and I was like, all right, I'll just go and find out like who it's for and see whether it's worth stepping away because it was a completely separate tent with more lining up. So I went, stood in a line for 30 minutes just to find my name on the list and find out who they'd assigned me to. And I got to the front, they found my name in like this phone book of names all printed out. And they're like, oh, you've been assigned Carl Richards and Erica Jane. And I was like, oh, my God, like that's amazing. Okay, I'll take that one. It's not a Next Gen NYC guy that, you know. But that was the lineup where I saw those guys had nobody. So then I had made these amazing friends, these just American girls from LA that I happened to just meet on the way to the first day. And we just totally hit it off. And it made the whole trip. It was like having your besties there that you kept like, we were WhatsApping, like, where are you now? Okay. And going into things together. It was amazing. So I had a +1. So I texted the girls and said, does someone want to come? I've got Kyle and Erica Jane. So one of my friends came with me and we stood in the queue for over an hour, Heidi, over an hour. And we get all the way to the front. I'm 2 people in from meeting and greeting Erica and Kyle, and they closed it down. And they said, sorry, we've got to go to the next panel. I was like, are you kidding me? There were all of these other people, like I got to see up close. Yeah. So, and there were like 5 people left behind us. They could have given us 30 seconds each and it would have been fine. We had spent all up. I had been standing in queues for over 2 hours that day.
So fucked.
Such a waste of my time. But I did get to see, so I got to see Reza. I got to see those 2 boys not get any photo ops. I saw a bunch of others. I can't even remember now. I'd have to look through my photos. But so I got lots of close-up photos of all of them.
Yeah.
And Kyle and Erica sort of got behind us so we could take a selfie on their way out. But that was just so badly organized. So that's a regret. I don't think I would have lined up again, or I would have said, clearly we're not going to make it here. Can I go to someone else's line?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, get the feedback form out. The events
totally
need the feedback.
These Americans, I'm telling you, they love a snaking line. So instead of going like, oh, we've got 6 people lined up on 6 different walls. Okay, you've been assigned stage 1 for Kyle and Erica, so go and line up at stage 1. No, they put us all in one long line that snakes around like this. And then they're sort of calling out, anyone in stage 4? And no one can hear these poor people that are working there. If you're in stage 4, you can step forward. Like, ridiculous. Just put us in the line that we're meant to go in straight away and it'll move straight through. Like, insane.
Like, what the fuck?
Seriously.
I would have been so upset. But I guess the thing that I'm getting from you is you have to be really patient.
Yes.
You've got to find real patience.
Yeah.
Like that you kind of have with your kids, that you've got to find that for an event.
Which we know I don't have.
Yes. Well, you do. You've got 3. And you work in schools and like you're a therapist. Like you got patience. So is there anything that we haven't covered that you feel like we need to know?
I thought Kate Chastain, so she did an amazing job of hosting a lot of panels. And I think she's got to have a career coming up, like just forever on Bravo. She's kind of got this kind of very like cool, laid back, like I don't give a shit kind of attitude, but it really works.
Yeah.
You know? And she's funny. There were a lot of moderators that I just thought were not that funny or was all about them. And, you know, there was one moderator who interrupted some really interesting kind of juice between. So I don't know, you might have seen this one come up, but there were like unlikely besties panel or something. And Austin and Madison from Southern Charm were up there and you had to like hold something up and the other person had to guess who it was. So he held up a picture, not seeing what it was, and Madison had to like give clues for him to guess who it is. And she said, you know, one of the meanest people I've ever met from New York City. And he's like, I don't know. And he had a look and it was Sai De Silva from the reboot of Roni.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, the moderator was, instead of like going into the juice with Madison, she like interrupted. She was rude to Austin several times, and then she interrupted them and said, you know, like moving on, and went to someone else and asked about like some random question about what they like to eat or something. Like, I don't care about that. We want to hear the story about why Madison has beef with Sai De Silva. And then it all played out online. But there was golden opportunities missed to make that a really juicy panel. And she was just like, moving on to the questions on my card, jeans or tracksuit pants? You know, like, who cares?
So from my broadcast radio days, this is where it's like when you can tell someone is not fully 100% present, or they're either really nervous or because you want to go where the gold is, right?
Yeah.
And I get it if there's timing and all that kind of stuff, but if they've got time to go on to the next question, you're like, come on. So
yeah,
what would you have asked?
I would have said, tell us what's going on, and have you had a chance to talk since, and what actually happened in that interaction? How could it have been different? You know, like there were so many ways it could have gone, and we didn't get to hear any of it. You know.
So has anyone had a bad rap? Did anyone get a bad rap that you?
I think Sandy, Captain Sandy, people were disappointed that she wasn't really giving much to the fans.
Is she socially anxious? And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because also what people have to remember is, I know people think that they get access to you when you're a reality person, but that isn't always true.
No.
Just because you go on a reality show, Below Deck is not really a reality show. Like,
Yeah, we're watching them actually at work.
yes,
Like they're actually working.
yes,
No one else. The Real Housewives aren't working.
yes,
You know, the Below Deck people are literally working around the clock.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I get it. There could be a socially anxious, but I don't know. She gives kind of like those kind of vibes to me, cunty vibes.
Yeah.
But like that as a boss, right? Too. She's like straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. But some of the people that had so much time, like Craig was one of them. He was just giving and giving. He had people lining up trying to get a photo with him. And after we finished filming our bit, he was still trying to like give everything. He's like, oh, hold on. Do I have time to just, and they're like, no, Craig, we need you to, he's like, okay, can you tell them all I'm going to be back? Like, what time am I back here later this afternoon or tomorrow? They're like, we're not going to tell them. Then they'll be lining up so I was privy to the behind the scenes with his minders, and he was like, no, but like they're lining up. Like, it's not fair. I want to get, and so there were a lot of people like that who were just giving and giving and giving the whole time and working really hard. West Wilson and Jesse Solomon were like that. They were really like in amongst the crowds. I know. Aisha, did a Below Deck panel and then stayed back, making sure like everyone then ran to the stage and were trying to get a photo with her. And she got down off the stage, which a lot of them did, and walked all the way along. And the crowd just kept coming and kept like going, oh my God, she's there. Right. And she just gave everybody time and came over and said hi to me and was like, oh my God, you're here. And like, it was so nice. We had a couple of messages after and, but she was one of those, you could see the ones that it really means something to have all of these people, us, the fans, spending our time and our money to be there and so excited to meet them. And there would be others that would just like finish their panel and just walk off the stage, Yeah.
Who was
that? Who was that? And again, you don't know if they're rushing off to a meet and greet or a photo op and whatever, I'll give them that. Yeah. But like most of the Beverly Hills, like I think Kathy got straight off the stage. A couple of them pivoted and just got straight off. Someone I don't want to name because they trying to nurture a relationship with them.
Okay, someone else, some rando out there. Like there's plenty to choose from. So
yeah. But it was just interesting kind of seeing who was really
you're really
giving. Yeah.
But I mean, our whole thing is pop therapy, right? Like, surely we have to remember that sometimes your energy's out. Like, and I know that you've got to be on, but like, what if some real shit happened to them when out on stage? What if they have really debilitating social anxiety, depression, all that kind of stuff?
And it is honestly so overwhelming. There are so many people, and truly, like, I know, Hannah and I were FaceTiming after one of the days, and she was like, honestly, babe, they have us booked like morning, like hair and makeup's coming at 5 or 6 in the morning, and then they're scheduled to the hilt, and they're literally filming and photographing and doing promos and doing stills and doing. And Hannah's not even on a show at the moment. So imagine. So imagine how hard.
Like, getting caught like all these things. So
totally. And imagine how hard all of the people who have like the Southern Charm guys whose show was about to start, like their season has just started. And, all of the other ones that have their seasons, like the Salt Lake City girls were working around the clock. And, so I totally get why you might not have any steam for extra stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so is there anything that we've missed?
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Oh, I'm here. I said, is there anything that we've missed?
I don't know. For me, the real thrill as well, outside of seeing all of these people, you almost get a bit desensitized to seeing them all in real life as well. Like the first day is like, whoa, 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 oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it just becomes normal. Like Dorinda Medley was right in front of me filming something, and I was like literally a meter from her the whole time. And it was like just hanging out, like as if I see her every single day. You know, it was like so exciting, but not like
TV.
yeah, exactly. But for me, meeting all of the creators that, podcasters that I've had, pen pal relationships with for all of this time, that was really such an exciting thing for me. Like really just making connections with people that, are real people who are super fans as well. And so excited to be there, but also, kind of working and doing, the media side of all of it, which, that was just a real thrill, really connecting with them.
Oh, I had so much FOMO. I have absolutely loved today. And are we going back in 2027? Because
100%.
I'm so locked in. I was
100%.
coming in 2026 if it was on in 2026. But
totally. And you know what? We should scrape our pennies together now and make sure we're staying at the Four Seasons, because that's where Bravo puts them up. And it's a very expensive one, but it means you'd be having way more interactions with people in the hallways, in the bars, coming and going. And people were going there to try and like catch them and they were successful. But how much better if you're actually staying where they're staying?
Yes. Okay. Well, look me in. I'm in.
Done. Booking it now.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to just quickly take a photo of us. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before we finish up? But a quick little photo for the yay. It's just like I'm having my moment with all the celebs over on
BravoCon.
I went to BravoCon because my bestie went to
Totally. You were there in spirit, and you were the first call I made when something very exciting happened to me. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, well, I love you. I'm so glad that you got to do this, and I appreciate you sharing and spilling all the tea. I've taken so many notes.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for offering to come and do this so that I could actually get some of the stories out, because it's not as much fun talking to yourself into the mic.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted the scoop on everything.
Love it. Oh, thank you, honey. Everyone, make sure you go and follow Heidi. All the links are in the show notes. You can watch this, listen to this, and support everything that Heidi's doing.
Oh, thanks, darling. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.